Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Clash of Champions from WWE pay-per-view results and dark match and what happened last night with Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. Well, we started off with Brock versus Randy. Brock won the match, even though Randy Orton got a RKO on him. But as usual, Brock Lesnar kind of no sells and delivers a couple of F5s. Over with. Pre-show, dark match. We go to Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton on the broadcast team. They hyped this next match of Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax. Bell rings and Alicia nails a dropkick. She unloaded but got scooped and rammed in a corner. Nia dropped Fox, worked her over. Nia with a splash in the corner. Jax tossed Alicia and stomped on her. Nia ragdolled Alicia with a submission hold. Alicia tried to make a comeback, but got cut off. Alicia sidesteps out of the corner and finally gets some offense in. Nia won't go down. Fox gets set to the apron, but drops Nia over the top rope. Fox goes up top and hits crossbody for a 2 count. Alicia with a head scissors kick for a 2 count. Nia comes back and floors Fox. She scooped her, but Alicia slid out. Nia with a running shot in the corner. And then Nia scooped Alicia up for the big Samoan drop for the win. Action match, Nia stood tall as we go to replays. Nia made her exit while Alicia was still sitting down in the ring. We go to the panel for the close of the show for the network promo. The hype the main event. Kevin Owens is champion versus Seth Rollins. And then we get the Clash 2016 WWE version of the Clash of Champions pay-per-view kicking off with a pyro from the Bankers Live Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Michael Cole saw Corey Graves and Byron Saxton on the panel for the broadcast team. Tag team title match, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus the New Day. Everybody expected this to be a blowout with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson winning. Well, I was too. Well, we go to the ring. Out comes the champions, New Day, to a promo. Sporting new t-shirts, Big E, Xavier, and Kofi hit the ring and cut promos on their opponents. Just like always. For the WWE Tag Team Champions with the gyros, with the hips. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are out next. We see the Spanish and German announced teams at ringside. Bell rings and the club looks to make some quick work of the champions. Anderson gets a 2 count on Kofi early on as Gallows has taken Big E and Xavier down on the floor. Anderson works over Kofi as Gallows comes back to the apron. Gallows comes in and keeps control of Kofi. Big E finally gets a tag and unloaded on Anderson with a suplex. Big E ran the ropes and hits a big splash. More back and forth action. Anderson ends up sending Big E into Gallows' boot, leading to a close 2 count on Big E as Kofi breaks up the pinfall. Big E launched Anderson to the floor. Kofi tags in, but Anderson nails a spine buster for a close 2 count. Gallows comes back in, but Kofi ducks a boot. Gallows blocks the SOS. Gallows nails a choke slam on Kofi and super kicks Big E. Anderson comes back in for the Magic Killer, but Kofi blocks it. Gallows goes for gets sent to the floor. Anderson ends up taking a big ending, but Gallows pulls him out of a 2 count. Big E sends Gallows into the steps. Kofi leaps out onto Gallows. Woods uses Francesca on Anderson while the referee wasn't looking. And Big E and Kofi hit the midnight hour for the win. Winners still tag team champions to make it 400 days as tag team champions, which you will see on Raw tomorrow night. After the match, Gallows checked on Anderson and as the New Day made their exit, we go to replays. The announcers then lead us to a video package of the Cruiserweights. Which your Cruiserweights was up next. Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins, your Cruiserweight champion. Tom Phillips backstage with Raw Cruiserweight Champion T.J. Perkins. He's been training for this moment since 1998. He admits he's a bit nervous. Brian Kendrick has been here before and has been a champion, but confidence got TJ to where he is, and he's confident he will leave as champion. He tells Tom to wish him luck and walks off. We go to the ring. Out comes Brian Kendrick first. TJ is out next, ready to go. Also, with new entrants like Kendrick. Perkins offers a handshake before the match, but Kendrick refuses. Back and forth to start. Kendrick comes out of the corner and takes Perkins down with a headlock. Perkins comes back with some offense and goes for a submission, but Kendrick escaped to the floor. Kendrick got Perkins wrapped up in the apron and beat him down. Kendrick brought him back in and keep control as we get dueling chants from the crowd. Perkins then comes back with a submission hold, including a dab into a Muda lock. Kendrick got to the ropes for the escape to break it the submission. Kendrick ended up sending Perkins to the floor. Kendrick sells a leg injury and limped out. Kendrick brought it back in for a 2 count. More back and forth. Kendrick comes back in and runs into a kick to the head. Kendrick launched Perkins onto his neck for a 2 count. Looked very dangerous as he hit his top of the head on the floor before rolling through. Kendrick with another submission. Perkins broke it and hits him a mule kick. Perkins looked to make a comeback now. Perkins with a neck breaker and a modified atomic drop for a 2 count. Perkins then got up and ended up on the top. But Perkins cuts him off and climbed up top himself. Perkins sent Kendrick to the mat. Perkins jumped to bring both of them to the floor with Hurricane Rana over the top rope. They make it back in before the 10 count. Perkins blocked slice spread from Brian Kendrick and hit a springboard drop kick to the head. Perkins then goes up top but misses as Kendrick moves. Perkins fights off the submission and gets the knee bar applied. Kendrick reverses it and then they trade shots. Kendrick nails slice spread for a close 2 count. More back and forth, and then Perkins drops Kendrick into a kick and gets the knee bar applied. Kendrick taps for the win. Winner is still Cruiserweight Champion T.J. Perkins. After the bell, Perkins hits the turnbuckle to celebrate as JoJo makes the announcement. Andrea comes in to interview Perkins, but Kendrick walks in as they apparently shake hands. But everybody knows. Look out for a heel swing. Kendrick dropped Perkins with a headbutt and made his exit while Perkins looked on. Cesaro backstage with Tom Phillips, and he says he will prove who's mentally tougher tonight, earns his championship opportunity, prove he's physically dominant, and reward the Cesaro section with the biggest comeback in history. Sports history, as Cesaro said. We go back to the announce table for a look at the previous 6 matches. Best of 7 series. Match number 7, Sheamus versus Cesaro. We go to the ring. Out first comes Sheamus. Cesaro was out next. Coleslaw shows us some other international announced teams in the arena tonight. Bell rings and they go at it. Cesaro takes Sheamus out to the floor early on. Cesaro with a running uppercut against the barrier before bringing it back in. Sheamus turns it around and covers for a 2 count. Sheamus works on the lower back now. Sheamus comes off the top with a knee drop. Sheamus then keeps control and nails a backbreaker. And now I'll call every backbreaker the Irish Curse backbreaker in this match. More back and forth as Cesaro blocks a Celtic cross with a roll up for a 2 count. Sheamus took control before running into the corner. Cesaro with an uppercut to the back of the head. Cesaro kept control and goes for a few pin attempts. Also hit the 619 Rey Mysterio style. But it was very, very slow. Almost like slow motion. Sheamus blocked a neutralizer, but Cesaro hits the springboard corkscrew uppercut. Only gets a 2 count. Then Cesaro goes for Cesaro's swing, but gets kicked and rolled up for a 2 count. Sheamus goes for the Irish Curse backbreaker for another 2 count. Sheamus with 2 more backbreakers, even announcers saying they're Irish Curse backbreakers for Sheamus can't believe it. Then Sheamus tries a cloverleaf submission. Cesaro breaks out of it. Sheamus kicks out. Sheamus with a Celtic cross into a backbreaker for a 2 count. Lots more back and forth as they go to the floor. Network having issues tonight again, but the match ends in a no contest after they both crash through the barrier and the referee refuses to let them continue. Both men were checked on as they looked kind of dazed. Cesaro was the first man to get up. He was fighting off one of the referees. Another one was keeping him situated. I'm only protecting you, the referee said. And then did the same thing to Sheamus. Sheamus could barely stand up. He was just like one-legged as they just stopped the match. So it's still three matches to 3 matches. With 1 each for no contest. After the match, Sheamus is taken to the back by referees. Fan chant, let them fight. Cesaro is standing tall as his music plays. Next up, Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. Some of the network was out. Issues caught by Sami Zayn. Hitting, when it comes back on, Sami Zayn hitting the DDT through the turnbuckle. Jericho ends up getting the win with a codebreaker in what a dirt sheet said, very good match. What, about 15 minutes or so. Kevin Owens backstage when Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon walk up. Owens is going to show them why they should have drafted him first. Why he's the best and why Seth Rollins is their mistake. Well, Stephanie McMahon was as he was saying, that's like trying to, like, it was like, go around the corner. It's like, are you standing? Is that somebody standing around the corner? Which he knows hold that. Of course, there was nobody there. Okay. Nothing more than this match. That backstage. Then we get a video package for the next match. Triple threat for the women's title. Bayley versus Sasha versus Charlotte. We go to the ring. Out first comes Bayley. Sasha Banks was out next, followed by champion Charlotte and Dana Brooke in her corner. You know what's going to happen with this. Anytime Dana's in her corner, she's going to win. JoJo does a formal ring introductions for this one. Bell rings and they go at it. Sasha Charlotte start to brawl and they make it to the floor. Bayley's staying in the ring. Takes advantage. Brings Charlotte in for a 2 count. Sasha knocks Bayley to get back to get back to Charlotte. Sasha and Bayley have words in the middle of the ring now. Bayley gets a 2 count. They go at it. Charlotte ends up taking Sasha out and sending her to the floor. Charlotte and Bayley go at it now. Sasha and Bayley trade pin attempts. Charlotte ends up knocking Bayley to the floor and booting Sasha. Posing in the ring, Charlotte uses the ropes for leverage, but Sasha kicks out at 2. Sasha catches Charlotte and he gets the bank statement applied. But Sasha kicked Dana off the apron, but Bayley broke the submission. Sasha got a hold on Bayley, but Charlotte broke that pinfall attempt. They go to the floor and Charlotte launches Sasha into the barrier. Then comes when Charlotte boots Bayley into Sasha, knocking Sasha off the apron. Well, Sasha was actually bent over the ring rope for a long period of time, waiting on that to happen. There was just a light bump. And Sasha goes to the floor. And Charlotte floors Bayley with a big boot and covers for the win. After the match, Charlotte clutched the title. As Dana comes in, we go to replays. Charlotte and Dana leave and laugh as Sasha is down on the floor. We go back to the panel for discussion on later for the show. We'll get a video package for the next match. U.S. Champion Rusev versus Roman Reigns. We go to the ring. Lana introduces her husband as the best U.S. champion ever. As he makes his way out, Roman was out next to a mixed reaction from the crowd. They go at the start. Reigns tries an early Samoan drop as they basically collar and elbow tie up all around the ring, more like all four corners and into the ring rope. Rusev goes to the floor for a breather. They come back in. Rusev takes control. Rusev with a kick. Rusev mounts Reigns with a strike. Rusev keeps control and beats Reigns around as the fans do dueling chants for Roman. Very similar to Cena. Rusev with knees as Lana looks on, smiling. Reigns looks to make a comeback, but Rusev sends him into the corner and out to the floor. They trade shots on the floor. They seem to lose the crowd even more. Reigns gets launched into both sets of steps. Rusev brings it back in for a 2 count and then another. Rusev keeps control and drops a headbutt. Rusev runs into a boot but drops Reigns. Reigns dodges another flying headbutt attempt. Reigns with a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Reigns unloads with a big shot in the corner before clotheslining Rusev over the top rope. Reigns follows out and sends Rusev into the barrier. Reigns sends Rusev face first into the steps. Reigns brings it back in and readies for a Superman punch, but Rusev blocks it. Rusev nails the right hand. More back and forth, and then another 2 count by Rusev after a super kick. Rusev stomps and charges, but Reigns nails a Superman punch for a close 2 count. Lana distracts Reigns from the apron as she gets on the top, allowing Rusev to nail a super kick for a 2 count. Reigns sells the super kick, but Rusev kicks out at 2 count. Rusev is throwing a fit and yells at the referee because it was 3 count. He just swears it was 3 count. No. Rusev stomps on Reigns a few times and goes for an accolade. Reigns fights it off and hits a spear for a 2 count. Lana pulls the referee out for apparent disqualification, but the referee instead throws her out of the arena. Tells her to go to the back. Comes back in. Roman gets a pin attempt for a 2 count. They go on, and Reigns hits a pair of drive-bys on the outside of the ring. One right there at the ring apron. The second one was on the announce table. Then Reigns brings it back in the ring and waits as some fans boo. Reigns runs to a big kick for a close 2 count by Rusev. Rusev goes right into the accolade and gets it locked in. Reigns powers out with Rusev on his back. Rusev with a shot to the eyes. The referee was asking Reigns if he wants to tap out. Well, Reigns was doing this, but this was actually his way of getting up out of the accolade. Rusev coming back. Reigns powers up with Rusev on his back, but Rusev with a shot right to the eyes. Rusev charges, but Reigns nails a spear for the win. After the match, Reigns is handed the title while he's still on his knees, clutches the title, and gets to his feet as we go to replays. Rollins chases Jericho around the ring. Well, the main event is Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Well, Rollins gets chased by Jericho around the ring late in the match and then back in. Rollins then jumps out of a pop-up powerbomb and hits the referee as he goes down. Jericho gets involved again. Rollins blocks another powerbomb and hits the pedigree. He covers, but the referee is still down. Rollins goes to wake the referee up. Jericho attacks from behind and stomps away on Rollins as fans boo. Jericho gets dumped to the floor. Rollins runs the ropes and nails a big dive onto Jericho. He runs back in and nails another dive on Owens on the other side of the ring. Rollins brings Owens back in and gets the referee up from the floor. Stephanie sends another referee out, but he stops to check on the first referee. Rollins tells the new referee to get in the ring. Owens nails a pop-up powerbomb as Rollins turns around. Owens covers for the win. 1, 2, 3. After the bell, Owens hits the floor and the title and joins Jericho on the ramp. We get replays and come back to Jericho and Owens celebrating on the ramp while Rollins tries to recover in the ring. And that ends the pay-per-view results for this week. And your next WWE pay-per-view is a SmackDown only pay-per-view in 2 weeks. Thanks again. Peace out. See you when I be. By the way, if you don't know, Just call me brothers and sisters.